Hey, YouTubers, it's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basic. Joe the Deuces. I do text baby. Man of us back. You know what it is. Know what it is. It is. Only place, only place, only place, only place, only place, only place, only place. Go get it. Only place. Go get it. It's right back of basic. Chuck the Deuces. I would do text baby. Man of us back. You know what it is. Know what it is. Know what it is. Real men rise up. Fake men rise down. Real women rise up. Fake women rise down. Preacher, preacher. And the only place you ever go get is right back in place. Right back basic. Man, Mandela's back, and you know what it is. And today's topic I want to talk about is I want to talk about the sun and the moon. Or there's a history behind the sun and the moon? Yes. Some people believe if you're a sun person, you're born in the sun. Some people say you might be a fire sign. Well, unfortunately, I'm an earth sign, so I can't be fire. I might have fire in me. Some say that Mars is men and women is Venus. Mars is men. Some say if a woman born into a water, that means she's a sun. I mean she's the moon. She's the moon, and moon is more affectionate and more emotionally affectionate. That's what it said. But if you are fire, you're aggressiveness and aggression. No, you could say that much. Some people want to argue that water and fire do go together. If you really do think about it, look at every between love and lust and lust and love. That explains a lot. In our culture, some say between black and white. Some say blacks to order protection from the sun, from the dark skin. That I've been hearing this from Africans. Because there was a commercial that was they would explain talking about dark skin is protected by of during into the sun. White skin have to use a sunscreen to get affected from the sun. It got something to do with that. It got something to do. They can't stand in the sun, especially white people. A pale skin white people. This is why some of them do believe this. This so-called white supremacists. This is why some of them afraid that the white race is going to die out in 2030 or 40 or 50. I don't know how true that is. This is white genocide going on, and I don't agree with anything what David Duke is saying because this is the same guy praying endure of this whole white races. Because all white races is people who have something against the white race or not with the white race. Same thing, the black race. But that's called white racism. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's fine. No, just give me shrimp. I'm just talking to my family member, but it got something to do with that. It got something to do, and I studied it. I studied it a lot, and that explains why some of them believe this. Because all white racism is against the white race, or white race against some of the people, or people against them. The black race is something against the black racism, against the black race, or black race against our people. But that explains a lot. Some people argue that that let's say the cold climate, black community can't struggle out the cold like whites can. I've been hearing it, but I never thought there was black people in Alaska. There was, but it's not that number. Many of them. Some whites argue that if you're not having red dish or pale, then you're not a white person. You can't make it out in the cold. Even Asians. This is why Asians and whites can make it out in the cold, especially if I noticed they got red skin and make it out of the woods. I've been hearing this a lot. I've been hearing this a lot. I've been hearing this. I've been hearing this a lot. Because whites, I mean, Asians are considered as whites because they closest relatives like that. It's in the Bible. Whites and Asian do go together. You know they do. That's why between the borders of Asia and Europe, right near the coast of Africa. So that explains a lot. Some blacks want to argue that. How can I say this? I just said that right there. It got something to do. Whites can't make it out of the sun. Blacks can't struggle out in the cold. It got something to do with that. That's why they show the moon and the sun. The moon and the sun. It goes back to history. If you look at Zuko and look at Katara, you would think they'll be together, but they're not. She messed with the air sign, and he messed with a woman who's a fire sign. Because that explains a lot in our culture. That explains why you always see good girls end up with bad boys, and good boys end up with bad girls. That explains a lot, and you see it. Even racists can be hypocritical at times. If you look what's in the Bible, it was Noah was the one molested his own son, so Noah was being cursed out. I mean, for this whole thing that people believe that black people are cursed, anybody could be a curse if they stop believing the Father. Stop to practice your racism or to keep braided into white and braided in with black. Because they're afraid one of the races is going to breed themselves out, so there'll be no more white race, no more black race. That's why these so-called black supremacists believe that you got to be darker skinned in order to be a black person. I heard of Mr. Farrakhan, Mr. Farrakhan shit. That's what he is. He trying to say that if you could reproducing of a natural born a life of a natural of a born baby with the light skin and dark skin, they're gonna talk about kill the dark or save the light. I mean, it goes back what's been taught, but our people out there doing the same damn thing. Same thing you hear about white people when they intermarried with their race. As long as they intermarried with Asians and any other race, even Muslims and Jews. But as soon as they interrace with blacks, all of a sudden it's a problem. But yet we do the same thing. We talk about black as the most dominant, but frankly, there are black people out there that they actually look like they're black, but they're really white. And there are whites that really look like they're white, but they really were black. See, that's something that people need to start talking about right there. That's something that needs to think about. I don't buy this whole I'm superior, I'm inferior. All superior is you want to be on top of everything. That's what it is. You want to be the number one in charge. You want to be to feel like you want to be the number one who runs your academy. That's all the fuck it is. It's a competition of bait. Who can bring the most wealth? It's a white wealth and black labor. What do you think that book was about? Trying to say that this is a black man wrote this book. Trying to say that black people making money from the Europeans. How you think Europeans get this damn money then? How you think they got the money? They found a gold mine somehow in some ways, and that's how they did it. They went over there in Africa somehow and they dig it in to find the gold treasurement, and ran with it and melt it down and make it into money, because money did come from trees. Why you think they always say money grows on trees? Why you think they say that? Why they always say if you can't buy the cow, why get milk for free? You can't buy the cow, get milk cow for free. You gotta pay for it to get the goddamn milk. You gotta be purchasing and who purchase what you purchase of, who the person that you're buying into. See, this is why that some reason we need to study this. We need to study why these people think the way they feel and think the way they do. And that goes to Europeans can study that. Don't think Europeans don't study blacks, because they do. Just like we need to study them, because we're a part of each other. And it got something to do with the sun and the moon. Some say the Mason board, black and white Mason board. The white Mason board is the Ku Klux Klan. The black Mason board is the Black Panthers. So that explains a lot. They all in it together. They are playing whites and blacks against each other. Don't buy into that. From this black skull and bone, this white skull and bone. Fuck all that. White people and black people are guilty with this mindset. They both slave their own race and slave other people, even though Europeans birthed to this. But they're not the only ones do this. There's every other race done this. Asian, even Africans. Let's be honest about here. And the same thing in United States and South America. If people want to come together, they would have wanted. Who you think the children of the moon and the children of the sun are? Who you think they is? Black and Latino. Sometimes Asians and whites if they mix with black and Latino. Who the children of the moon is? Asians and whites. Let's be honest. Sometimes blacks and Latinos mix with would be part of the moon if they mix with Asians and whites. Let's be honest. See, that's why they always show the red and blue. You ever wonder why they always show that color? You ever wonder why they show it? Goes back to the Romans, it goes back to the Greeks. Why you think Romans and Greeks are fighting for? Why you think every movie they always made committed they call the 300. That means the committed 300. The people that run the system right now. It's come from European countries making European money. But money did come from Africa. Let's be honest, and the name come from Africa is come from the Roman general African Cannons. They can look this stuff up. They can look it up. That same thing, Europe. Where you think Europe came from? Come from a woman sitting on a Taurus bull. They say she's the real whore of the Babylon. So that explains a lot from their culture and what they've been taught. Look at Asian culture, for example. They broken up into they broke up white people to put them in groups. What defined being a European? If they're dark Caucasian to light Caucasian. I mean, half German, non-German. It is ridiculous when you hear about it. They broke black people in groups between the African and black. I mean, it's dumb. It's the stupidest thing because black people from descendants from Africa, but black people born all over here, been over here all over their lives. Let's be honest. And they broke Asians. They broke their language because you can't tell the difference between certain language between Japanese and Chinese. Guess what Japanese and Chinese fighting about? Who got the most fighting technician skills? Right along with Britain. That explains it. Look at watch Chinese connected called Chinese Connection and tell me what you think Bruce Lee made that movie was about. We need to study this because that explains a lot. You got whites, blacks, Asian, every other race been fighting for nothing because it goes back to the history between the good versus evil, good is versus the wrong and the right. It goes back. They always say if you're black, step back. Well, you'll be the last one to call. Step back. If you're white, you all right. There's nothing wrong with you. You all right. That's why a lot of people buy into that. A lot of people buy into this. Latinos stick around, right? They stick around and they're going to be around as long as they're around. They're going to be around. If they're Asian, they're mellow. They chill it out. There's nothing wrong with them. They just chilling. They don't bother anybody. But blacks and whites are the only ones buying into this. You got whites think they're Aryan. You got blacks think they're Shabazz. I mean, get the fuck out of here with this shit. That explains a lot. And the scientific racism did the damage. Because all moon is the moon of the darkness, and the sun represents the light. But moon can be just as much as good, and it can be evil. And sun can be just as much as good, and it can be evil, just as much as the moon is. And the moon can be just as much as good as the sun, and the sun can be just as much as evil as the moon is. And that's my commentary about this. Let's explain your commentary about this, all right? All right. It's your boy Domination. This is the Back of the Basic. Chuck of the Deuces. I will do test, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace, and I'm out.